Hello everyone, Namaste, and welcome to the Soma Matha online Sangha. Join us in practice for inner peace, which brings clarity in life, improving health, relationships, success, and prosperity, and which prepares the mind for true meditation, which awakens intuitive knowing and spiritual sight. Each week, we are announcing upcoming events and opportunities to participate in the activities of the Soma Matha organization based near Richmond, Virginia. Led by Swami Gananathamritananda, Soma Matha is dedicated to spreading authentic teachings on spiritual yoga, mantra, meditation, Ayurveda, and other Vedic sciences for the peace of the world. We are working to build a temple for goddess Shakambhari Devi. Each week we'll be sharing a teaching from Swamiji, doing a group mantra practice and meditation, and conducting a simple puja or prayer ceremony for the goddess to humbly supplicate her to bestow her blessing upon the Sangha. A Sangha is a spiritual community who come together to support one another in their practice. Each individual gains strength in their practice from the collective effort of the group. Sangha feeds our practice. It nourishes us and empowers our efforts. Smooths and bounces the challenges we face as it lifts our consciousness into subtler realms. Namaste, I'm Grant Ottinger. I've been studying with Swami for a few years, and he's asked me to lead the weekly Sangha since live broadcast is difficult at the property. Swami will be watching the Sangha and participating in the group practices and sending video teachings for the group each week. To receive, we must give. Our efforts to provide this virtual space and to publish the many free teachings available on the website dependent upon your support. We are encouraging all Sangha participants to formalize their connection by becoming Sangha members and pledging their monthly support through our Patreon. There are 5 different tiers of support, so they can contribute according to your ability. All Sangha members will receive access to additional teachings and opportunities for support in their practice offered through Patreon. If you'd like to deepen your practice and your connection to the Sangha, please visit our Patreon and pledge your support. The link is provided in the description of this live video. Please help us to continue this service to humanity by deepening your spiritual connection and supporting our efforts in whatever ways you are able. For news, a new edition of the Yani newsletter went out this week. It features an update about the temple move, as well as a nice discourse from Swamiji about sacred language. Please continue the practice of daily lighting a ghee lamp and doing 108 repetitions of the Mahamrityunjaya mantra for world healing, specifically for the COVID situation around the world and in India. If 108 repetitions is too many, please do however many you are able. Reach out to us via the website for questions about this practice. Swami and volunteers are continuing to work to prepare the property for sale, including preparing the many trees and plants for transplant. We are still working to raise money to purchase a new property. We have so far raised only $20,000 with the goal of $300,000. We are hopeful that the sale of the property will raise some money towards a new property, but it is possible we may be left with very little after the sale. This will make continuing services for the public difficult, perhaps for a significant time in the future. Volunteers are needed as well as monetary donations. Please reach out to us via the website for more information. Now we will share a recorded teaching from Swamiji.
Loka samasta sukino bhavantu Ainkara rahasya yukta Shrinkara kudhata mahavibhutyah Omkara marma pratipanidhyam Namo namaha Shri Guru Padukabhyam Jnananashanaya vidmahe Jnana prakashaya dhimahi Tanno Guru Padukah prachodayate Dakshinaya vidmahe Guru Murtaye dhimahi Tanno Shivah prachodayate Jnananathaya vidmahe Amritakaya dhimahi Tanno Dishah prachodayate.
So it's full moon day today, Purnima. It's a special full moon in the month of Ashadha. The full moon is considered a special full moon, sacred for connecting with the teacher. It's called Guru Purnima. Purnima means full moon. Guru means the teacher. We have a special year this year. It came a little later than sometimes it does. In order to keep the lunar calendar and the solar calendar together, we have an extra lunar month every now and then. Ashadha month is the month that the full moon comes in the nakshatra of Purvashadha. I believe, maybe Uttarashadha. One of those two nakshatras. Full moon comes there in this month of Ashadha. But the lunar month has a different amount of days than the solar month. And so every 28, 38, something like that, every 28 lunar months.
Oh, I thought you were saying how many days.
Maybe, I don't know how many.
Yeah, I think it's 30 something.
Maybe 37, 38, every few, every so many months we have an extra lunar month. And so this, usually earlier in July comes Guru Purnima. But this year we had an Adhika Masa, extra month. Adhika Ashadha Masa. So festivals will be put back to the following month in that case. And so this Guru Purnima is coming a little bit later. That's how we balance the lunar months with the solar months, which has a different length. And it's how we keep the full moons happening in the same nakshatra. And so today is that special day, Guru Purnima. So people think of a teacher and they don't always know necessarily how the teacher teaches. How does a teacher teach? Is a very good question. I've got a story. I'm thinking of one time when I met my guru. I have my gurus here behind me in the morning. I did puja, pada puja to all their padukas, their sandals, the different gurus that I've had the blessing to work with and be taught by. I had gone out to a temple consecration for one Ganapati temple in Arizona. I just got a plane ticket and flew out there. I'd been praying for them for some time. I wanted to go when they were placing the deities and opening the temple, blessing it for the first time, consecrating that temple. My guru, Satguru Bodhinatha Velan Swami also was there. He went. And I think that his guru, Subramaniya Swami, had been helping that temple even before that time. And so this is maybe the first time I actually saw that teacher. A very great saint, very, very powerful. The gurus in that sampradaya are very, very powerful. They're very drawn within. When you go and see some gurus, you feel a lot of shakti, a lot of energy. People can feel something going on. And a lot of people, they see these teachers and they're so far within themselves that it's too subtle, the vibration. A lot of people don't even feel it, but it works on them. Nonetheless, it's got a powerful effect because they're very much withdrawn. They spend a lot of the day meditating, not necessarily trying to relate to the people. They don't care if the people see what realization they have or not. But they have very great siddhis, great mystical powers. And so at this temple consecration, I was walking around and I went and I saw in the middle of the desert there in Arizona, they had a little pen set up for the cows because they do the Go Puja as a part of the consecrations, the cow puja. So they had the mother cow and baby cow, and I went and I saw them and I spoke to them and I was happy to see them. I like cows. And I got the feeling I should come back sometime. And so then next day, I guess, the rituals are going on, and we were coming to the part where Bodhinatha, Satguru Bodhinatha was about to talk. And I was very excited. I'm thinking, oh yes, I get to go hear the teacher talk. I'm so excited, so happy. I'm going, I'm walking toward the temple, and then right then I hear go to the cow pen. So I'm like, oh, I'm looking at the temple, and I look over, I'm like, okay. So I go. I walk over there, and here's pandemonium. All these Indian people running around in the desert. Oh! And the cow's also running off in the desert. I said, what happened? He said, cows escaped. Baby cow ran off into the desert, and now mom is trying to go get the baby cow. And I said, okay, well, number one, you people need to stop running around screaming because you're scaring the cows, and that doesn't help. And I went and I spoke to the mother cow. I said, you've got to go and get back in the pen. Go, and we'll get the baby, you know. You go in there, you get your baby to come. We'll clear a path so you can see the baby. I said, people, get out of the way so that she can see the baby, and she'll get the baby to come back. So she went in, she stood in there, and she called the baby back. When the people got away, the baby then came, closed them in. And so then the people were scared to open again. They didn't want her to escape again, and so they're trying to do the alankaran, dressing the cow. They're like throwing kumkum in the cow's eye. Take the shawl like this and try to throw it. It falls in the cow dung, and they like sticking a broomstick in there. The cow's getting noticeably upset because they're throwing kumkum in the baby's eyes and this kind of thing. So the cow's getting upset, and everyone's afraid to even go in there. And so a few people go in there, and the mom cow starts like making threatening gestures at them. So they come back out. They're like, "Oh no!" And so I offer to go in there, and I go in there, and I'm talking to the cow, trying to calm her down, trying to calm the people down, taking on the fear from the cow, feeling a lot of fear. The cow starts threatening me also. The priests come, they're afraid to go in there. I'm thinking, how can they ever do this puja? How can they do it? And so eventually, you know, the cow is coming. She's about to put her horns through me. And I'm thinking, I don't know what else I can do. So I just prayed. I said, God, please, if it's your will, help. Help so that these people can do the cow puja as a part of your sacred temple consecration. And just then, I glanced over at the temple, and the guru, who was also giving the talk at the same time, walked out the back door of the temple. And he puts up his hand like this over at the cow pen, just like this. He smiles and he walks back inside. And immediately the priests walk in. Ganana amtva ganapati kummavamahe kavin kavinam upamasravastamam. They start doing the puja. The cows are behaving. You know, he took care of that somehow, while he was also giving the lecture apparently. And so. At that point, some people came and they asked me, they said, Swami, we need you in the temple, please come. So I came and I sat and I listened to his talk. And at that point, he finished the talk and he was sitting over on the other side of the temple, and they had put me on this side. They needed me to do some function for the temple consecration. So I'm sitting here, he's sitting there. And when he finished the talk, he's sitting, I'm sitting, and I'm thinking, all the people are basically ignoring him. Except me, I'm across the room just staring at him like thinking, my God, I wish I could be closer there over to him. And no sooner than I had that thought, some guys came and they escorted him over and he sat down right next to me. He sat down on me, basically. They put him so close, his knee touched my knee, and I'm thinking, oh no, this is Papa. I touched the knee of my Swami with my leg. This is bad. I had to move back, they put him so close. And so it shows that the teacher hears your desires, and it's being worked on, it's being answered, but it shows also how the teacher teaches. We think what the teacher is saying is important, but it's not so important. That's important too, maybe. It helps us stay around long enough. It entertains our mind, our intellectual mind, until we can sit there long enough to get the Shakti. But really it's about that. It's a transfer of Shakti. That story is a good example, and that teacher put up his hand. What's he doing there? He sends out the Shakti. He's working out some knots in the people. He's working out some karmas there. Because, it's the fear of the people preventing that puja from happening, causing the cows to get upset. And cows are more simple. There's not so much of a problem. But with a little bit of the right sadhana, a little bit of clearing out some attachments and some karmas, a person's inner state shifts. And when their inner state shifts, they see the world a little bit differently. They can walk in without fear and do the puja. And so he came and he gave that blessing. That's the teaching of a teacher, is that energy that resolves things for us. Whatever we do from a place of ego is not going to resolve the karma so much. We can do all the mantra, we can do all the yoga practice, we can do all this kind of thing, but what good will it do, really? Because it's coming from a place of ego. We don't realize it as we're doing these practices, but there's some ego desires we're trying to fulfill. And you see it clearly with some. If you go to the bhajans in the temple, you see some people singing like a peacock. The beautiful song, Namah Shivaya, oh Namah Shivaya, Hara 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 Namah Shivaya. Well, that reminds me of another cow story. I've told this one on YouTube before, but I may tell it again. It's a great story. And we know what that's about when someone's singing like that. It's not about Shiva, right? It's about, I'm so beautiful, look at me, Namah Shivaya. A beautiful peacock, look at me, how beautiful I am. Like fanning the feathers, That's the way people do their practice. It's for some reason. It may be more selfless in some cases, but even the gurus have attachments. They come here, they do the practice to help the other people. They're already free, maybe. They stay here helping the other people. They've got some attachment to that. That's fine. Or their soul would just merge into the Lord, they say. We're all working on these attachments as we do the practice, but from a place of ego, is that really going to free us? If we're going to get noticed and get people to say, wow, you sing so nice in the temple, you feel a little happy then. Is that going to build up your ego or take away the ego? It'll build it up. What really takes away the ego is the grace of the teacher. People think, well, God is there, God can free me, I'll pray to God. But we're not connected with God, right? Praying to God is even a stupid thought. Because the higher teaching is you are God. You pray to God at first, but later you realize God is within. God is outside, God is inside. You're not really praying to God. It's a conversation with yourself. You talk to God. You start to hear God eventually. You start to see God. And the more you see God, you see that God is within yourself. So praying even puts you in a place of distance. You're starting from a place of distance. And from a place of distance, maybe you can try to approach. But really, you remain distant when you are approaching God. It presumes that you're separate from God. You just got to see that you are God. Maya prevents us from seeing this. Shankaracharya said that people can't see God through the senses. They're attached to the body and the mind, right? So they're experiencing life through the senses. You cannot experience God through the five senses. God is subtler than this. God is in the five senses, you'll see later. But from that place of looking with the physical eyes, you won't see a subtler reality. But they say in the teacher, the qualities of God are manifest in the world. And so it's a system in the universe that grace, God's grace is given by the teacher. I mean, God's punishment is given by your enemies and the natural disasters, tsunami and this kind of thing. God's grace is given through the living teacher. It's very important for people to find a living master like these teachers I've had the great fortune to work with. I bow before such teachers to get that grace, and that energy will work on you and heal you in time. Listen to the teacher, do the practices the teacher gives you to do, but really, practice doesn't take away anything of its own accord. The practice connects you with the teacher, and the teacher takes away. When you've earned that grace of the teacher will take away the karmas. He can snap his fingers and some things will go. But he looks carefully and makes sure you're ready for that there's not too much ego. He doesn't want to give you too much power where you might make some mistakes and cause yourself even more pain and trouble and cause suffering in the world. purpose is try to bring peace into the world. And so I was thinking of another cow story from the temple that I was at another different temple consecration one time. I love the temple consecrations. It's a very powerful event. It's nowadays it's like the height of puja that generally we'll see done. They reconsecrate the temples every 12 years. If you've never been to one of these temple consecrations, please go when you get a chance. It's so powerful. Just so many offerings, so many experts chanting Vedas, all this kind of thing. They usually will try to bring in some gurus. Very powerful event. It's worth going. But so they were trying to bring the cow into the temple for the cow puja. And they had just, I think, a baby cow in this case. And the cow was refusing to go. On the ramp, they're taking the cow up the handicap ramp because he can't walk the steps. And so she, I should say, I guess. So they're pulling on her. They've got a rope somehow on the cow, and the cow's just stopped. And the people are pushing from behind. The more they're pushing, she gets scared and she's stopping. And so I saw this all happening. I walked up and I whispered in her ear. I said, "It's okay, don't worry. You're just doing the puja. Just go." And she walked a few feet. And so then everyone stopped. And one guy runs up to me and says, "I read that if the cow listens to you, you are Krishna. Swami, you are Krishna, so you are in charge of the cow." And they handed me the rope and everyone left. And so I took the cow in the temple. I got a couple people. I said, "Hey, come here. You stand on the side in case the cow gets out of control. I'm not strong enough probably to control the cow. So you stand and you can grab the cow if we need to, if the cow starts doing something really crazy. But just 2 people. Everyone else stay away. We don't want to scare the cow." And I noticed the loud talking was frightening the cow. And she would try to stop. And so I said, "Okay, be quiet. Let's be quiet." And as we got into the temple, all the priests are in there. "Gananaham twa brahmajatyanam pratamam paratta tujematat turuchovin avaha taputniya upama astavita satatayonimasatatta vivaha," chanting like this. And so I'm thinking, oh my God, this is going to scare the cow. So I sent one of the guys holding the cow. I said, "Go tell those priests the cow's getting scared from the loud noises, so be quiet." And the cow comes in. It was very beautiful. I realized in this moment why they bring the cow in the temple for the temple consecration. Everyone became mindful. Everyone became compassionate for this cow who was afraid. And as soon as we walked in the temple, the priests were chanting like some peacocks. They turned instantly. And the bell before was like, and now bell is like. And they're looking at the cow, they're very mindful. And all of a sudden, in this focus that was inward, look at me, look at me, look at me, has turned out. Hey, look at this cow, is she doing okay? It's the attitude we need to approach God. That's why, to me, the cow is the greatest guru. Matha. She teaches us how to be compassionate. One thing I appreciated seeing this cow was, as frightened as she was, never once did she think to hurt these people. The mother cow I spoke of earlier, yeah, maybe to protect her baby, because that's a mother's nature. But this baby cow, for herself, no. She's just thinking, "Oh God, I'm going to the slaughter for sure, oh God." But never once did she think, "Let me attack these people and go away, get free from this." The cow is eaten by people all over the world, but really the cow is a very good example for us, a gentle, gentle creature. That's why we revere the cow, and why, to me, the cow is a great guru for the world now. We need that kind of compassion. We need that kind of love, empathy for other people in the world today. So I'm happy you guys could come.
Thank you, Swami, for the teaching. Swami chose that teaching for this week because this Friday is Guru Purnima for 2021. And Swami has said in the past that it's the best day of the year to make a connection with the Guru. So yeah, it'd be a good day for that. That's something you're interested in. As you all know, we've finished our recitation of 600,000 mantras, Gayatri mantras for Shakambhari Devi. And now, for our japam practice, we are doing the Devi Panchakshari mantra. The Devi Panchakshari mantra is the 5-syllable mantra of the goddess. It is the same as the sacred Panchakshara mantra, Om Namah Shivaya, with the addition of the Shakti Bij Hrim. It uplifts consciousness to the highest state of peace and bliss. It empowers our spiritual practices and grants liberation from all troubles. Though its literal meaning is Om, I bow to the goddess who empowers divine peace and consciousness, whose seed syllable is Hrim. True understanding of a mantra is in the spiritual experience it bestows to the seekers, as it elevates their level of awareness through dedicated practice over time.
We will do 108 repetitions of the mantra. Om Hrim Namah Shivaya. 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 Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Instructions for the meditation are to sit silently, spine straight, shoulders back and relaxed. Close the eyes. Allow yourself to see the inner light, the divine, radiating from your heart. If you do not see it, feel it. If distracting thoughts or feelings come into the mind, allow them to be. Witness them without hesitation, without judgment, and without analysis. Allow the light of the divine to heal them, bringing deep peace and wisdom. In light, all darkness vanishes. Practice sitting in the inner light, which is bright like 10 million suns. Let this light heal you. Invite that experience. Allow it to guide your consciousness and impel your actions for the highest good of the three realms. Om. Om. Puja is a traditional system of offerings, coupled with mantras and visualizations revealed by the sages to help people seek the assistance of divine beings in their lives and spiritual practice. Puja ceremonies can be simple, as in the case of the offerings made daily in the homes of millions of Hindus, or extremely complicated, as are the rituals of temple consecration, which require the participation of hundreds of devotees and dozens of well-trained priests. The oil lamps, fruits, flowers, water, herbal incense, and other offerings provide prana, or subtle nutrients, for the devas and other inner realm beings to send blessings to the physical realm. The sacred mantras open a channel to the inner realms. The effects of puja are powerful to bring about peace and healing. During puja, problems are mysteriously resolved, and answers to difficult questions arise spontaneously by the grace of the many inner plane beings working to fulfill our prayer, empowered by the sacred mantras and offerings. We are conducting a simple pancha puja of 5 offerings. These offerings relate to the 5 elements and are pushpa, a flower, which symbolizes the ether element, gandha, or sandalwood paste, connected to the earth element, Dhupa, incense symbolic of the air element, Deepa, light symbolizing fire, and Naivedyam, food relating to water.
Om Adya Purvokta Evam Gunavisheshena Vishishtayam Asyam Shubhatithau Sri Soma Matha Sanghasya Asmakam Sah Kutumbhanam Kshemasthirya Virya Vijaya Ayura Roga Aiswaryanam Abhivriddhartham Shri Shakambhari Devi Prasada Siddhyartham Yatha Shaktya Shri Shakambhari Devi Pancha Pujam Karisye Om Apa Upasprisya Om Jata Veda Zezunavama Soma Marathi Hato Nidahati Vedaha Sanah Parshadati Durgani Vishvanaveva Sindhum Duritatyaknihi Om Am Sham Shakambhari Devye Namaha Om Bhurbhuvasvaha Asmin Chitrapathe Sri Shakambhari Devim Avahayami Sthapayami Om Am Sham Shakambhari Devye Namaha Gandhan Dharayami Gandhasyopari Haridra Kumkumam Samarpayami Om Am Sham Shakambhari Devye Namaha Pushpam Pujayami Om Am Sham Shakambhari Devye Namaha Dhupam Agrapayami Om Am Sham Shakambhari Devye Namaha Deepam Darshayami Om Amritamastu Amritopastaranamasi Om Pranaya Swaha Om Apanaya Swaha Om Vyanaya Swaha Om Udanaya Swaha Om Samanaya Swaha Om Brahmane Swaha Om Am Sham Shakambhari Devye Namaha Naivedyam Nivedayami Tambulam Nivedayami Amritapaniyam Samarpayami Om Yopam Pushpam Veda Pushpavan Prajavahan Pashuman Bhavati Chandramava Apam Pushpam Pushpavan Prajavahan Pashuman Bhavati Ya evam Veda Yopamayatanam Veda Ayatanavan Bhavati Rajadhirajaya Prasaya Sahine Namo Vayam Vahi Shravanaya Kurmahe Same Kaman Kama Kama Yahmahyam Kameshwaro Vaihi Shravano Dadhatu Kuberaya Vaishravanaya Maharajaya Namaha Yo Vedado Swarah Prokto Vedante Cha Pratishtitaha tasya prakritilinasya yah parassa maheshwaraha narayanye cha vidmahe shakambhare cha dhimahi Tatno Devi Prachodayate Om Am Sham Shakambhari Devi Namaha Om Bhurbhuvassuvaha Om Avahitabhyas Sarvabhyo Devatabhyo Namaha Vedokta Mantra Pushpanjalim Samarpayami Kale varshantu parjanyaha Prithive sasya saritni Desho hyam kshobarahitaha Brahmana sandhu nirbhayaha Bhagavata sandhu nirbhayaha Sajjana sandhu nirbhayaha Sarve chana sandhu nirbhayaha Swaste prajabhyah paripalayantam Nyayena margena mahimahishaha Go brahmanebhyah shubhamastu nityam Lokah samastha sukhino bhavantu Aim kara hrim kara rahasya yukta Shrim kara gudhartha mahavibhutya Om kara marma pradipadinibhyam Namo namaha Shri Guru Padukabhyam Ajnana nashanaya vidmahe jnana prakashaya dhimahi Tapno Guru Padukah prachodayate Om Shatamanam Bhavati Shatayuh Purushashatendriya Ayushevendrihe Pratitishthati Om Sahatna Vavatu Sahatna Bhunakto Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai Om Shanti 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 Om Tatsate Shri Devi Arpanamastu
We offer this Sangha freely. Remember to join our Patreon, donate, volunteer, and spread the word about our upcoming move. Happy Guru Purnima and Namaste.